Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 439. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Yep.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 439 of the Moviecast. Coming in to April, coming into Endgame.
Avengers April.
It's they released some posters today.
Begun.
We actually had a character death reveal, didn't we? Go on, what?
No, I just saw that Tony's drinking. Is that the orange vanilla flavor one?
Oh yeah.
Is it any good?
Oh yeah, it's like a creamsicle.
Let's stop the podcast and let's talk about the orange vanilla Coke.
No, I just had to mention it.
No, I'm fine. I'm serious. I'm being serious here. I've seen so many commercials. What would you rate it?
No, it's good.
Like a cherry Coke level,
Coke. I like orange Coke already, so it's like a creamsicle. So I'm not. Yeah, I could probably go without the vanilla, but
yeah. Does it work out or no?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good.
I would do it an 8 out of 10. Like vanilla Coke is still my favorite, but this is nice to have like just like that different.
Well, yeah, and this like orange Coke's my favorite, so it's nice to have a little.
They have
going on sometimes.
They have orange cream seltzer.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That sounds good, though.
It might be, I'm worried about the vanilla in the seltzer. That's what I'm worried about, actually. But like, I'm having orange seltzer right now, but I avoided the orange cream one. But all right, not talking about the sodas. Back to let's do Avengers stuff. So yeah, that's happening. We're going to do a topic tonight of our top 5.
As soon as the tickets go on sale, we got to get them. So
I know. I can't believe they haven't gone on sale yet.
Yep.
It's just unbelievable. We're going to be doing our top 5 tonight. Marvel movie characters.
Appearances in a movie.
Yes, in the MCU. Because we had to make that stipulation here because we're focusing on Endgame. Obviously, Avengers. We're not talking about Dark Phoenix.
Or even the Netflix and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shows.
Yeah. Well, I said movies. I said Marvel movies.
So. Had to make an appearance in a Marvel movie.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
Like
MCU
Marvel
movies. MCU movie. Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Let's get that stipulation out there. So we'll get into that. That's going to be tonight. But first, let's get into what we've been up to, guys. Anybody want to kick us off here, Mike?
I mean, I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, nice.
It's out. I watched it today, actually.
Watched it again. I mean, I got the still book right here.
Yep, so did I. Yep.
Nice. Very nice.
It is a beautiful still book. I'm showing it off on the YouTube video if you guys check that out.
Cool.
But yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, it's such a good film, and I watched all like the features. I gotta watch the features.
I don't watch the features yet.
So there's some good stuff there. They have like a tribute to Stan Lee and some of like the idea behind the changes to the characters. And they do talk about Kingpin and his look and how severe it is.
Yeah, that was just so much, but the rest of it's great. So
no, I mean it's a fantastic movie. I guess it was my favorite movie last year. So
yeah.
But
cool.
Cool. So watch that, and gonna start getting into the try to watch some more of the cinematic stuff leading up to Endgame. So
I thought about doing a little bit of a run.
I think that was actually the first one, right? Hulk came out before Iron Man.
No, I think
Iron Man came out first.
I'm pretty certain it was Iron Man first.
Well, I watched Hulk just again, but it's so weird because that's so disjointed from everything. It's like not the only thing they really took over was they brought over was Ross. Right?
Then the end of it, isn't there end credits with Tony Stark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr. shows up there. But I'm saying like the only thing they really took from that movie, although obviously Hulk is there, but like Betty's not around. It's just Thunderbolt Ross is the only thing really.
Yeah. So
other than Hulk.
Yeah, I want to get started on that soon. I'm gonna start doing I actually already had rewatched it before Infinity War. So I'm gonna do it again, I think, before Endgame. Just start running the movies through. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah. Tony, you said you watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Yep, today. Got to work from home, so put that on in the background just to, because don't need to pay attention to it all the time.
You've seen it, yeah.
The dialogue and the music and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it still holds up.
Prowlers is so good.
I really do like it, but I don't know. I think on the rewatch, actually, I was a little, not disappointed, but I was like, okay, I could see the cracks a little bit more. I'm still excited for the second one, but the second one, I'm just
Spider-Gwen, obviously.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, that's what I want. I want the second one already. Like I want it now. No.
That's the thing is you're watching. You're like, we've seen this already. Where's more? I need more. But it's
still got me when Spider-Man was returned. Spoiler alert: the first Spider-Man confirmed killed, and the one song starts playing, and then they do the eulogy and thing by Mary Jane. I'm just like, oh, and then like the Stan Lee. I'm just like, oh, like can't take these feels still. Like,
yeah,
gets me.
Yeah. That's cool. Anything else?
That is it.
All right, Mike.
So I watched the first 30 minutes of the 19th episode of the last season that we watched. That's out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I was like, where are you going with this? What?
It had to be S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, what else is going to be?
I stopped because then people were online, and I just stopped and played a game with them. But so I'll catch up on those last 10 minutes. Is that a 22 episode season, or is it something weird?
I believe it's 22.
Remember.
I think it's 22.
So I'm right near like the finale part, which is good.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. It just other things came up, and I'm like, all right, I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
And then I also watched. I mentioned that I hadn't seen the original Turtles movies in a while, and so for the first time, I broke out a DVD I've had for like a decade or so, and watched the first Turtles movie over some pizza, and it was good.
You have to have pizza when you watch that movie.
You have to.
Yeah, it makes me crave pizza while I watch that movie, and I don't even eat pizza anymore. So, yeah.
So that was a good time. It's about what I remember it as. It's the first one. Now in my mind,
it really holds up well.
It does hold up well. I'm trying to just remember in my mind
practical effects, man.
The darker one. I do remember a few scenes where you actually like see like electrical cords hanging out of their asses, but other than that, it's pretty cool. So yeah, it was a good one. I'm glad I revisited that. That's it.
All right. Oh, sorry.
Jim?
My phone just went nuts because my dad tried to call me. Anyways, so I watched. Sorry, everything froze. Is it we good? Good. Yep. Sorry. I watched. I didn't really watch anything of note, except for I'm trying to think of anything I watched. I don't think I ever mentioned. Now, last week, Corey, you had asked if I finished Umbrella Academy, and I did. Yeah, I did finish it. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I did watch the whole thing of that. And yeah, that show was great. And I don't know the story at all in the graphic novel, but it really like
they change it in the show. I think is a lot better.
Okay, it was really cool, and it really makes me wonder what's going on next season, and it makes me excited for it. So I'm very happy that they're going to do a second season. These kind of endings are like, why?
The stuff that Tony hates the most when they, plot holes. Plot.
What do I hate?
Fixes. You hate time travel.
Oh God, yeah, I hate time travel.
So I don't know if you'd like this ending.
Yeah.
Just as a warning.
All right. Yeah. So that's really pretty much it. All right. So we can get into our news here.
Any Expanse, Jim?
Any what?
Expanse.
I did watch another episode of Expanse, which is fine. I'm not in that takeoff point in the middle of the season yet. I'm only on episode 5.
Okay.
So I finished 5. Yeah. So, cool. But I ended up. I was playing. I played a lot of Devil May Cry, so I'll talk about that on the Gamecast more. But like my free time last week was like we went out. I was off, so we went out a little bit, and and when I had free time at home, I was like, I could watch this, or I could play Devil May Cry 5. So I chose Devil May Cry 5. Yeah. So anyways, let's get into the box office here. You guys want to read this real quick? I have a phone call I have to take real quick. Sorry. It's a support call from my own family. So Corey, you want to read the box office? Thank you. Sure. Sorry about that, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, let's move into the box office and see what that's about, because I was totally ready. Tony?
Yeah, I got it up. So Universal's release of Jordan Peele's Us dominated the domestic box office, not only performing the opening weekends for several recent horror hits, but delivering the second largest opening ever for a live-action original picture, topping the weekend box office over $70 million. As a result, the 2019 box office continues to improve over the month of March after struggling to begin the year. Overall, this weekend was a third straight to outperform the same weekend last year. Excuse me. So estimated $70.25 million, which is just underneath 50% of all tickets sold among the top 12 films. Third largest opening of all time for an R-rated horror film, blowing away 2018's The Nun and placing behind Universal's own Halloween, which opened to 76.2 last October. Film also decimated the opening for Peele's previous film, Get Out, which was a massive hit back in 2017, following a $33.3 million debut. So,
more than doubled.
More than doubled Get Out, which was a fantastic hit. Went on to gross over $176 million domestically, ranking as the third largest horror film of all time domestically. So if Us keeps it up, definitely going to clear 200 for sure, 225 probably maybe. So could be taking Us's place or Get Out's place, maybe even going to the second. So really fantastic opening, and I think Jordan Peele's making a directorial name for himself there.
Yeah, especially in the horror, where you kind of think of that name and you think of like comedy. At least I do.
Yep, exactly. It just kind of, it's like, all right, well, that was really cool. But yeah, it was good there. I'm just trying to see.
How did Captain Marvel do?
Captain Marvel had a good weekend as well. Let me see, just pulling it up. I think it had a softer drop. Let me see.
I'm assuming it's number 2.
Well, it's number 2 at 34.3 million.
34 million, which is a 49% drop for the third weekend. So that's good. Usually, it kind of increases to a little bit. So it stands at 320, 321 probably domestic. And foreign, it's at 590 million. So worldwide total is $914 million. And I would definitely not bet against this in hitting $1 billion.
Yeah, that seems like it's well on its way. I mean, it's only in third week and it's almost there. So
it'll be interesting to see how the holds are, especially with the Avengers Endgame marketing ramping up, starting with today. It seems like every Marvel Cinematic actor, their official Twitter had their characters' promotional art tweeted with like just their character and then the tagline "Avenge the Fallen." And I thought this is kind of cool. I didn't notice it at first, but if the characters confirmed alive in the present in Endgame, they're colored, and if they're not, they're black and white. And they actually unveiled that today. Shuri did not survive the snap, which was not covered in Infinity
right. Nobody knew.
Nobody knew. So it was funny because like there were so many like little tirades on Twitter that I saw. It's like just like Shuri died in the snap and you didn't show it. Like they're so pissed off. So it'll be interesting because I think, as we approach Endgame, there's going to be more and more people now that are going to be like, oh shit, I need to see Captain Marvel before this comes out. So
did you see that the directors had to actually come out on Twitter and be like, hey, like Ant-Man's not crawling up Thanos' ass?
Yeah, goddamn social media and internet. Like,
it's like, I can't believe we have to clarify this.
Yep. Like every day, I sign on to Reddit just to see like the front page and everything like that. And there's always some kind of like Ant-Man crawling into Thanos' ass. And I'm just like, okay, like I guess if I was a teenager and the internet was like this, I probably would have made a meme or something like that too. But whatever. So that's I think pretty much the only notable things to talk about for the box office, unless you guys see something else.
I mean, I'm good to move to the news.
The first 2, that's it. Okay.
Jim's not here.
I mean, what? Sorry, what was the third one?
Wonder Park.
Wonder Park.
That's a bomb.
5 Feet Apart and How to Train Your Dragon.
Right. How to Train Your Dragon's doing real well. So
146. So.
Oh yeah, Wonder Park was that animated thing that was, I don't know. It was in the trailers for Lego Movie. That's what I first saw of it. Yeah,
that is
not good.
Well,
yeah, How to Train Your Dragon's almost at 500 million worldwide.
Yeah, is that down or up from the last one though?
I believe it's up.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. News it up.
All right, you want to start us off, Corey?
Yeah, sure. So. In the news, guys. I mean, the first thing we have is the Stranger Things trailer, which dropped like almost a week ago.
Yes, right after.
Yeah, and that I mean, who's not looking forward to Stranger Things that listens to this podcast? So
I don't know. You're crazy though.
It's a really good trailer. Kind of teases a lot of things, and has that. It's nice. It's got like different time of the year, and obviously they're growing up, and I like that ending with the 11 just kind of messing with the other kid, and then he just sprays the other kid. I don't even remember their names now. I'm trying to think of them.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I think it's good because I think that the time jump, even though I really wanted the third season last year, I think the time jump or gap is going to help a little bit because there's more to catch up with now. With, all the kids having grown up into teenagers, and even like what is it? Will or Mike that was like, we're not kids forever. We're not going to play games of Dungeons and Dragons by baby.
I think it was probably Mike.
Yeah, it was Mike.
Yeah.
It was Mike.
Will's the one that got taken all the time.
Which is funny because they're definitely like only 14 still.
Well, I mean, they're in high school. I mean, that's going to stop. Hey, I'm back. They're in high school. So that's going to stop them from wanting to be like the kids again, living in sitting in the basement playing games sometimes, depending on the kids.
Yeah.
So, but
I don't know.
It was exciting. It was exciting trailer.
We'll see. I really think the time jump is mostly to get through that weird early puberty stage for the actors and sort of.
I'm sure, but I mean, rather than have them play 11-year-olds and they're not, I think this works fine.
Oh yeah,
there's no reason like it doesn't, and they can explain the time jump with a story easily. Could just been quiet for 3 years.
Against the time jump.
No, but I mean, it's just a matter of like 3 years or whatever went by, or I forget what the time jump is, but it's been quiet. So, and we're going to tune back into when it's not. Obviously,
yeah, I guess.
So, but yeah, so that's cool. So, that was the first bit of news you guys covered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about craziness. You guys want to get nuts?
All right. Yeah, let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can quote Batman to the ends of the world with this one.
Oh God.
And I'm going to be talking about the news about Zack Snyder coming out on Twitter, I believe, or was it on Twitter? He just he lost on somewhere. It was on an interview. He lost it on like everybody. He's just lost it. Explaining the fact that he went on a tirade as to why Batman kills and why his heroes are not heroes. That's what I got from the conversation. Is that what everybody else got?
Yeah,
I got that he's just still writing Watchmen, and he thinks everything needs to be like that. I guess. So I mean,
wait. Do you have the quote, Jim?
I'm going to bring the quote up. I was going to say, let me bring the quote up, and I'll read the quote here. Okay, so. Okay, here it is. Sorry. Someone says to me, this is him saying, Batman killed a guy. And I'm like, fuck, really? Wake the fuck up. And then he continued, once you've lost your virginity to this fucking movie, and then you come and say to me something about, like, my hero wouldn't do that. I'm like, are you serious? I'm down the fucking road on that. It's a cool point of view to be like, my heroes are still innocent. My heroes didn't fucking lie to America. My heroes didn't embezzle money from the corporations. My heroes didn't commit any atrocities. That's cool, but you're living in a fucking dream world. This is a fictional world. This is a dream world. This is what heroes are. This is what superheroes are. They are a dream world. That's the point.
Yeah, this just goes to show that he was the complete worst possible choice to inherit this.
I think this solidifies it.
It's really weird because I could have sworn I remembered saying that like years and years ago. It's like,
no, I mean, we all hated Snyder.
Listen, Corey, you're not going to get any argument from Corey and I on Snyder. We both know that.
Sucker punch us one time.
Yeah.
We just were trying to get the best of what we could get.
But I mean, even just with like Man of Steel, because like I'm pretty sure you guys weren't like that down on Man of Steel.
I was
completely was the point of fucking Superman. Like,
I will completely say I was not that far down on Man of Steel. I liked it. So I will. All I know is that this universe that he had in his mind is completely different than every single person that I think reads comic books.
Yeah, it's a really injustice to the comic book characters.
I think
that train of thought. Because it would have been fine if he didn't say anything. Like, then we could have kind of like made our own like assumptions. Like, I was saying, you know what? This is just the way that these characters are going to be, and it's okay to be different. But now he's like throwing it down your face.
Well,
like,
that's the thing.
No, like these characters are worst heroes ever, and like, what the hell, man? Why are you even saying like these are the people that we're supposed to like idolize and like want to be? Not,
remember, not my Batman.
It's sort of the thing though, like about DC heroes as opposed to Marvel. In my estimation, Marvel is kind of like these are normal people who have powers, But DC is just like these without their powers, they would be like extraordinary just by like the fact that they have their own like code and virtues that they don't break from. I feel like that's kind of what differentiates the two. So to sort of just make it be like, nah, they're just sort of like douchebags. They could do whatever, and they don't like have a certain code to them. Then it's just like that's not the point. So to me, like he could have even explained it away, like what his Batman has done, if he wanted to like hedge his.
I've been explaining it away because I like this
No,
Batman.
I mean like if he wanted to hedge his bets, says he wouldn't kill in like cold blood, like manslaughter, whatever. Sure, you get killed if you fight Batman, but he's not gonna deliberately kill you if like he has the choice. Like that's fine, but. And this way, he's just like, nah, like Batman's a douchebag, and he's gonna just kill everyone. It's like, no, dude, that's not the way.
That's the thing. Like, I was reading comments to this quote, and like even the fanboys are still trying to defend that. Where one guy said, "I always saw this Batman as a worn out. He went past the point of being a hero, and he kills people. And then when he runs into the Justice League members, that's when he realizes he's wrong and comes back to the light side." And I'm
that's
like,
what I was saying. That's how you can like. That's what it was before. Zack
yeah, but
Snyder.
you can't make that comment now. You can't. He
No,
didn't leave that
obviously.
up to you. He took that from you.
Exactly.
He took
That's
everything
why-
from you.
Yeah.
He
No.
sucker punched you again, Corey. He did it again.
I can't believe it. Fooled me 3 times now.
He came back on record. He was talking about his cut of the Justice League. He's finished it. He wants to release.
Yeah,
that
apparently
his
he's.
version.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but like
I saw it just recently. Yeah,
and it's like apparently he's standing by that. There's a director's cut of Justice League now. It's like, bro, like it's at this point 3 years old, right? Like,
yeah.
And it's been
Like
like
3 years. Yeah,
2.
3 years. No,
3 years?
27. Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah, no, it's 2017.
that long
2017.
ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years.
2 years. It's been 2
Was it-
years, bro. Like no one
Wasn't that
cares.
late 2017 too?
No, I think it was around this time, wasn't it?
No, it was
I
later.
thought it was in like
That was a
December
fall.
or
I think
something.
you're getting BVS because BVS was in
That was a
April.
fall.
Oh,
yeah, that
maybe
was a
that's
fall
what it was.
movie. So, but yeah, I mean, listen, the true like fans of his are saying that they want to have
November,
his
yeah.
cut. And I think with his comments about heroes just now, I think you've lost half of them. So
Yeah.
why would the studio
It
spend
doesn't
money to release
matter.
this?
Like you're not gonna make a better movie.
He's just trying to
He's-
stay relevant.
Yeah,
Again, like he's pretty much done with them.
I mean, his world
I
is
kind of wish that they like. I wish that Michael Bay had taken this instead of Zack Snyder. Like, I think he would have just done it. Like, he would have made it more fun, at least. You know.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, I think they found a formula now, and I think they're starting
Well,
to do their soft
Zack Snyder
reboot.
made 300, like very dark and dreary. He made
Mhm.
Watchmen dark and dreary, and it's like, yeah, that's what you get. This guy's
I know.
Yeah.
you're not
And
getting fun.
That's the thing. Is
happy.
like if they just stuck with Snyder for one, like if they wanted to do a darker take on Superman, okay. Like again, I didn't like Man of Steel, but I think with some tweaks, a sequel could have still been dark, but like explored an interesting side of the character. Or if they wanted to do Batman, like do that, but like having him like his hand in everything is just it was too much. It's like, dude, like nobody goes to the movies to see all these superheroes and be all depressed and like mopey and angsty. Like who does that? Who does that?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I understand like going to see the Watchmen, like that's a theme of that
that's
comic.
Like again, like it's just everything's Watchmen.
But it's not. These are characters that are
Well,
established to be.
that's how he's doing it.
I mean, this is the idea
But
of
yeah, I know, and this is what I've said. Like since Man of Steel, I was like, he doesn't get these characters.
Superman.
He
yeah,
doesn't understand them, like other than a superficial level.
yeah.
Like that's the thing, and it baffles me because you have decades and decades and decades of material to pull from, and like what the best, highly rated, most popular stories are, and you can pick and choose like the best or the worst aspects of any of these
Yeah.
to create your own world, your own version of these characters, and all he does is like super dark,
Yeah.
super grim.
It's not even that it's grim or dark. It's just that it's wrong to like you
To
look at
comment on your heroes this way.
yeah.
Make them
I
all
mean, you
villain-
look
like
at
criminals.
like Batman comics are obviously pretty dark, but for like the greater part of like 60 years, he's like had his no kill rule, and some of his like best recent stories are based on that rule. Like under Red Hood, where he clashes. It's even became an issue in the recent comics with Batwoman and the more recent detective comics, where like Batwoman takes issue with that. She actually does something that he has an issue with. And then of course the animated series and all the stories that splinter off of that. It's part of it's almost like his kryptonite in a way.
It is. This is his own rule, and that's what make me really appreciate Batman. Like the first episode of Batman Beyond, when he like is pushed to the limit as an old man, and he has to like use a gun to defend himself. It's like, like shit got bad for him there because he would never do that, And it's an interesting take, and that caused him to retire as Batman. But yeah, and that's what I said. And Jim, I specifically remember you posting on my Facebook like these couple pictures of like Batman using a gun or like killing people from these comics. I'm like, yeah, like from like what, the 1940s? Like who cares about that?
I did do this. Yeah, I did do this.
What's funny is as hokey as Justice League ended up being with all of the Joss Whedon edits and stuff, like there was a scene or two where I feel like, oh, they finally get this character.
You can't save like that movie was just doomed to failure anyways. And I was reading about how big of a flop that was, considering it did what 700 million or 657 million or whatever it is. It did an insane amount of money, but because of the marketing and the post production and the reach, I mean everything, it lost the money. So that's the biggest point of this universe being a soft reboot. And that's what we're getting into now. And I think they found a formula, and we'll know next week. I mean, Corey and myself are going to see Shazam.
Oh, next week is Shazam? I'll see it.
And it looks fun, and early reviews are saying it's fun. You
could have seen it already with the Fandango thing. Like Fandango it's a week early.
I will not shop through Fandango ever again. So. I won't. After that ticket thing, no. I'm done with. I deleted their app.
You don't even need to. I mean, you got A-list. You don't even need to.
No. But I was using them to get some points to try to use their VIP points with it because they use A-list. But I will never use Fandango ever again, and I will never recommend them to anybody. So they've lost me. But anyways, I'm serious.
It's
I had a shit experience. Like, how can you not let me return a ticket?
Sorry, I just like how like over the years, like we just have these stories about like how corporations fuck us over.
Yeah, we're just done. So all right, let's get on to some other news. We know Snyder is just batshit crazy.
He just needs to move on.
Get it?
Move on. Yeah.
Anyways, all right.
Well, also just real quick, I mean, notice how successful all the movies that he's not involved in are too.
Yes, that's. I know. I think you said that, Corey, too. I mean, you said that before.
BVS was a pretty big movie, but
it fell off so fast.
I like BVS too. Like I talked about this.
There's aspects of it.
How much better would BVS be if it wasn't Snyder?
What kills me is that there's aspects of that whole universe that I really liked.
Well,
you're still going to get those aspects, Mike. This is a soft reboot. This is a soft reboot. You're going to get aspects.
Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn, and
I don't care too much about her.
Is Aquaman, and
Aquaman is okay. She's alright, but I mean, I don't know. It's just rough because, like, if he had what he had and made it like right, it would have been so much better.
Well, I remember saying that. I was like, I even said this to you guys. I was like, how can you guys not be concerned? Because this is literally like you're handing him the keys of the kingdom, and like he's going to directly influence like the future of DCEU movies for like years and years. And it's like,
well, now they have to pick up the pieces.
Yeah. It's been what, 6 years at this point now, and it's just like we're just starting to get like the good movies. Like, can you imagine if Marvel did that? Like, just Phase 1 was absolute shit. Like,
they wouldn't be around.
Exactly.
Yes.
Don't even give a shit.
We wouldn't be talking about Avengers Endgame. So, all right. Meanwhile, Avengers Endgame runtime leaked. Looks like it's 3 hours and 2 minutes long. Mm-hmm. Does that hurt the box office? What do you guys think? I saw stats where that didn't hurt that.
No. This movie is way too big. Like, I mean, and here's the biggest thing I can point to: Titanic was 3 hours long, and that's a good point. Good point. Well, there's somebody that posted on the box office Reddit.
Super long too.
Somebody posted like the longest movies from Marvel are the ones that have made the most money. Mm-hmm. They have a whole stat, like a chart on here on the box office Reddit. It was crazy to look at. I'm like, this is insane. So this is in this mind, it could do 300 million.
Absolutely, I think so. In a weekend, you're talking about?
In a weekend, it could do 300. Did we get that?
Infinity War did what? 260.
260. Yeah, I think it did 260. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it did 260 or 270.
It's possible. I wouldn't outrule it because the interesting thing is going to depend on the marketing. Like. And I think that's why we haven't seen ticket pre-sales yet, is because Disney and the theaters are trying to negotiate like how many theaters it's going to open on and everything like that. Because I mean that this is going to be the biggest weekend for the movies this year.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any question about that, right?
Bigger than Star Wars.
I think so. Yeah. After Star Wars: Last Jedi divisiveness, this will be opening bigger. Absolutely. I've been on this one a second.
I agree with you. I'm just saying that is coming out this year, and we're not even like mentioning. Oh, by the way, Star Wars is coming out. Like,
Star Wars is going to do well.
It'll do well. Year.
It'll do well, but Endgame is going to do better. To the point where like this movie has nothing to worry about with Star Wars. It doesn't.
Yeah. No, I agree completely.
257. 250, pretty much 258 million. It did pretty much opening day. Opening weekend. So yeah, I mean it will do better. I think it's just a matter of will it get to 300 million?
300. Know. 300 is a lot.
I don't even know what the track is.
275.
I really think
275.
Yeah. I really expect it to be almost identical to Infinity War.
I think it's going to be higher. The way that Infinity War has
I'm just not sure that there's more people available.
No, I think it's.
Well, I think you have, Mike. This is the thing, Mike. Welcome to Captain Marvel. You brought in.
You didn't bring anyone in with that. Come on.
I wouldn't even. I don't know about that.
You brought in. I think you brought in tons of new fans for Captain Marvel. No, I think you did. Absolutely, I think you did.
Absolutely not. No.
How can you even say that? Like, what data are you using?
Well, what data is he using? Does Captain Marvel make more than recent Marvel movies? Not really.
No, but that's because people. You didn't go see it. You didn't go see it. But you've seen other Marvel movies. Other people went and saw this movie and it's going to break $1 billion. So I'm saying it's bringing in different people.
Yeah, that's like arguing Black Panther didn't bring in new people.
No, I think that movie made way more than the recent Marvel movies before it.
Honestly,
this did not. This is
definitely with other going to bring in new people. I don't think it's that much. As like, I really think Infinity War is the majority of the new people. Like, Infinity War is 90% of the new people that are coming in. People saw Captain Marvel because of Infinity War. They didn't see Captain Marvel because it's a new Marvel. I'd say 90% of the people that are new, they saw Infinity War and like, oh yeah, let's see this other one.
I think this brought in.
I think a lot of people are waiting for Captain Marvel too.
I think if you were to judge that, then Ant-Man and the Wasp would have done a lot better, which it did over the original. But it's not like people went out clamoring to see more Ant-Man.
No, but Ant-Man was a thing already, and we only got a tease at the end of Infinity War.
And this was pretty much like all their movies are, an advertisement for the next movie. Like right a couple months before Infinity War, you get this other Marvel movie that has a little insight into it. I just feel like the opposite of it's because of Infinity War. You had a big Captain Marvel right before Endgame. I don't know if
you didn't even believe in Captain. You were like, I don't think it's going to do well at all. It's like
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
To be right in line with Wonder Woman.
Are you serious right now?
I told you I expected it to be right in line with Wonder Woman,
and it's not.
No.
Yeah, it did a little more.
A little. Oh my god!
It's gonna break
this fucking revisionist history.
It's gonna
read it. Go back and look.
I will. I swear to God, I will.
Exactly said. I expect it to be exactly in line with Wonder Woman. No more, no less. So it did a little bit more because of this tie-in.
Because of the what?
Because of the Endgame.
Because of Endgame being so close, and that everyone knows that's something.
You realize this is going to get a bump too. This is going to break $1 billion and do more, right?
Probably will.
Like it's going to do very well.
Revisionist history. Okay.
What is it?
Exactly what I said. Go back and find it. It's exactly what I said.
Well, it's on record, so we don't have to.
It is on record, and I can guarantee you that's exactly what I said. I expected it to be in line with Wonder Woman.
Well, what did Wonder Woman do total? What was it again?
Like 800 or so.
Yeah, and that's $1 billion is in. Wait, so 800 to $1 billion is in line?
No, he's saying it's doing more. He just said
I didn't say it would do awful, is what I'm saying. It's what you said.
You said it would be in line. To me, that means it's going to be close. Like it'll do 850 to 900 million. That I'll give you.
Yeah, I mean that's what he just said. Are you listening to
I am. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
10% here.
So the fact that it exceeded that, you're not giving it any credit?
He just said he is.
I'm not giving it credit.
What are you doing? Like he just said, it's good. It's doing better. Like why are you guys still on this?
You did say I'm not trying not to. I want you to clarify. I'm not. I want you to clarify. You did not say that. I'm sorry. You did not say that. Okay. I thought that's what you said. I'm sorry. So okay. That's fine. Then that's fine. Then I completely agree with you.
Talking about this
because it just sounded like he said that it was in line with what he expected.
No,
not at all.
I said specifically it did better than I expected because
Okay.
the effect
I missed the
of
better than I expected.
the opposite of what I expected.
I missed the better than. That's why. So this whole time I'm like sitting here like, wait, what are you talking about? It's not even close to Wonder Woman. So, all right. Yeah. So I think it draws in new fans. I think it does. You don't think it gets 300 million then?
That's a 275.
300's a lot. I mean, that's a
I don't know.
that's a big jump.
Again, I just don't know if there's enough people to like.
I honestly,
This time also. This time, like,
Yeah.
how much time in the day is there to actually sell these tickets?
I just I 295, 300. It's close in my mind. It's right there.
Go for it, Jim. I mean, I totally, if it's capable of doing it, absolutely. It's definitely capable.
I'm right there. 295, 300. I won't say 300. I'll say 295.
By the way,
Go
Wonder
for it.
Woman
Just say
did
300.
300 million.
820. By the way, 821 million for Wonder Woman. So
I undercut Captain Marvel before, so I don't want to. I'm not undercutting this one. It's 300 million. Hell with it. 300 million. This is doing it. This is going to break records right now. First 300 million weekend movie.
I mean, Disney's just ranking it in. It's disgusting.
And they got Frozen 2 later this year, and
Star
Wars and all of their live action movies. Which, by the way, Dumbo, I think Dumbo is going to flop.
Dumbo's going to flop.
I just don't think that's going to do well.
no one cares about Dumbo.
No. So, all right.
I'm actually questioning Toy Story 4. Actually, after I saw the trailer for that,
I don't know. It's
yeah,
Pixar.
like,
It's Pixar magic.
Like I love Toy Story and I love Pixar, but like this just feels like, why are we doing this? Like,
I could see that point, but it's
at the
like
same time, it's Toy Story's pretty big franchise.
No, I know. It's low hanging fruit. It's just, to me, I could see it has a chance. A little bit of the fatigue, or like
fatigued on that series. I thought it was 2 and 3 were the same story in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like 4 doesn't seem that.
And 4 doesn't seem that. Yes, it doesn't.
It's like characters having anything happen.
I said that to my girlfriend. I'm like, this looks like the exact same thing, and I complain nonstop about 3 because of that.
I just don't understand, because you have characters like toys that come to life, and like how many stories can you possibly tell with this? Infinite, nearly infinite, and it's just like, oh, we got to get back to our kid. It's like,
we get lost again. Let's get them back home.
A lot of it is about just like how their time of being useful is limited. Like that's the like depressing part. But they've had that since the second movie now, and I'm like, I don't want to be like wallow in that again. The whole like, oh, you're like a child's plaything, but like the child grew up, or you're older, no one wants you. Like, it's like, come on, enough of that. Like, you can do something else, but we'll see what they do. I just don't want them to play that card so heavily again.
They probably will.
Well, they are. That's what the whole spoon thing is.
And the whole thing is like, Woody gets separated again, and it's just like, God damn, like literally like line for line. It's just like, okay, here we go. Anyway, let's move on.
Moving on to Apple TV Plus. Apple had their conference yesterday, and I think this was the first concert for me. Showcase conference that just basically lost me in terms of money grab. That's all I kept seeing the whole thing. Like, and I know their stuff. A lot of it is money grab revisions, but it's like this was the most blatant. I mean, credit cards.
The thing is,
how is that not a money grab?
The thing with like Apple's, like they usually take something that exists and make it better. Here, it's like they're taking what exists and just doing it, not improving on it.
So, like, does anybody?
I don't know what you're trying to do.
Apple TV Plus is a service that includes all of the other services that you can subscribe to still and pay all that money.
And it's like some original names too. Like the names are terrible for all that stuff.
And then the Apple TV Plus service you can subscribe to as well for we don't know how much. They are spending $2 billion this year, which is significantly less than Netflix. And they are going to have how many new shows? Was it 20 new shows or on their service this year? And I don't know how much they can expect to charge for this service. Like Apple always charges a premium for things. 25 new shows planned for this for Apple Plus.
I can't see them undercutting Netflix or even getting in that same realm.
They got to be like $5, right, to start?
Oh God, really? You think Netflix would do that, or Apple would do that?
No, it's at least $10. At least.
I understand that, but where's the value in $10 from this for 25 shows?
Don't have anything else. I mean, well, it's not just 25 shows, right? It's like other stuff.
Apple TV Plus is just 25 planned TV shows this year. They have movies too. Yeah,
but I mean, I'm saying there's like other things other than Apple exclusive stuff on there.
Yeah, but you have to pay for everything else.
Does it come bundled with other stuff like Netflix does? Like you get some?
No. Their software also includes Showtime if you have a subscription to Showtime. It also includes HBO.
Right. So the
if you
Apple
have
TV Plus suite does not come with any original movie
no.
or
That's what I'm
existing
saying.
movie stuff.
That's
or,
what I'm saying.
okay,
They
yeah,
can't
okay.
charge $10 a month for that, can they?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they can. They absolutely
I
can.
mean, they can. I don't know if they'll
And
be
they will.
successful.
It's like
25
HBO.
shows?
How much stuff on HBO is like?
Yeah, but that's quality. I mean, that's.
No, I understand.
that's
Well,
approved,
this
right?
is quality, Tony. Like, this is
But
Apple quality.
HBO also built a library before that. They have more than 25 shows on demand whenever you want. It may be only active shows are 25, but they have older stuff you can go back and watch. Apple doesn't have that, and they don't have Disney as a partner. I can tell you that because Disney's got their own service coming.
Yeah.
It's
Disney Plus. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that
Original names here, guys.
I know. I just think this is. I didn't see anything about this conference that looked intriguing. The only thing that I didn't even think about, and I'm going to probably mention now, Tony, was you brought up Spielberg today, and it didn't even occur to me yesterday during that. And then you brought that up, and I'm like, wait, he is such a hypocrite. But,
he's a fucking hypocrite.
So yeah, Spielberg is attached to Apple TV Plus after
I
slamming.
know. Oh, hold on. Is he saying, "Oh, I need Oscar consideration for everything I put in here"? Because that's what he's talking about. So
Well, yes, and you're right. He's not yet.
Not yet. We'll see when he does his first movie for Apple Plus. And then I'm sure he will be.
Again, he's like, why do people jump into conclusions?
Because I would like to see him. I want to see him decline being nominated when he gets nominated for an Oscar. I want to see him decline it, and there's no way. There's no way he's doing that.
I think you will.
Oh my! There's no way.
You think he's going to decline
a
something?
nomination?
If it's something like that, based on what he said,
if he hasn't come out and said like, oh, I want to be considered for the Academy Awards with my stuff that's on this streaming platform. If he doesn't come out and say that, then why would you think otherwise? Like,
so you're right. Okay, I'm going with benefit of the doubt here that he's fine with that. He doesn't want.
His whole point with the Netflix tirade is that he wanted the Netflix stuff to be considered for Emmys and not the Academy Awards because it's television.
This 70-year-old guy, and he makes some comment about the nature of films, and they're like, "Oh, he doesn't like streaming things. He's old and confused."
No,
that's not what it's about.
He's going to make a movie for Apple Plus.
Okay, I understand that.
And made-for-TV movies aren't considered for the Academy Awards,
but Netflix's are. And what if his?
What's the difference between? His whole point was that Netflix should be considered for Emmys and not Academy Awards.
That's fine. So you're going to tell me he will decline the nomination to the Academy Awards
He's probably going to say he may say that. I don't know.
We will revisit this. Put a pin in this one. Let's revisit this when it happens.
I mean,
because you and I both know there's no way he's doing that. There's no way he declines a nomination to an Academy. Who in their right mind would do that?
He has one. Like he doesn't need it.
He doesn't. I don't need this. I already got one, guys. I don't.
Spielberg. What does he give a shit about that shit now?
He's old.
It's an Academy Award. Come on. It's still bragging rights in Hollywood. It is.
What does Steven Spielberg have to worry about with bragging rights in Hollywood right now?
I mean, imagine if you do get nominated and say, "Oh, I don't even care about this." Is that not even more bragging rights? Like, fuck that.
If he does say that, then I give him credit.
But I will give him credit. He won't do that.
He won't do that.
Whatever. This is another case.
It's a moot point because let's be honest, he's not getting nominated for an Academy Award for this movie.
No, he won't. He won't. So, all right.
I just think.
No, I just don't like calling him a hypocrite until he does it.
I'm not calling him a hypocrite. It sounded hypocritical to me. It sounded to me like he was actually that sounded like tampering to me. Like let's tank Netflix service and get everybody over on Apple.
It's not tanking.
Jim, someone asks you a question and you answer it, and then
if you're in that profession, your answers carry weight, and you should think about them a little more. I'm not in that profession, so I can.
He's an influencer.
Yeah. All right.
YouTube.
Let's get into our topic. Top 5 Marvel characters. Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. This was a harder list, and I would like to say that for a long time, my top number 1 character, and I didn't put him on the list, was Stan Lee. He's been in every movie, so it's like I should put him on this list somewhere, but I didn't, and I just wanted to mention him.
He doesn't play the same recurring character.
No,
if he did. I could sort of see the.
Yeah.
He's a watcher. What are you talking about?
Unless you say he's a watcher who's always in disguise.
Yeah, he could. All right, let's kick off the list. This is our top 5 Marvel MCU movie characters. Number 5 for me, Tony Stark, Iron Man, the first.
Number 5.
Yes, wow. Yes. I think because for me, I like his character. I've always liked this character a lot. His first movie was great. I didn't like his other movies. I think his character can be I don't really like his character as much anymore, personally.
No, I've noticed that's a reoccurring theme with a lot of these characters.
Yeah, so I put him at number 5. Even though he kicked the universe off, really, like that was for me.
Robert Downey Jr. made this character the character he is today. Like,
yeah,
it's unbelievable. He is synonymous with Tony Stark now, and like the world we live in, the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we live in, is like really thanks to him and Favreau's vision for the character and stuff.
And,
the comics, even like the influence he's had on the comics.
Yeah. Like anytime you see like an actor's like sort of likeness be more adapted into the comics afterwards, like, all right, this is like
big deal.
Made it happen here.
Yeah. So all right, number 5, Mike. What's yours?
My number 5 pretty much made his way onto my list of the top 5 in Infinity War, because I did not like this character at all pretty much before that, and I'm going to go with Thor.
Oh, nice. Even though he failed.
That's my wife's favorite character, by the way.
He didn't make a lot of female favorite characters, probably.
Well, because the movie was PG-13, but you couldn't go.
I mean, Ragnarok helped him a lot. I think.
Yeah. Ragnarok. So. I mean, I thought it was kind of goofy, but to me, like in Infinity War, you have a good balance of him, like sort of still being able to be silly, but like actually carrying the weight of what he went through. I think more realistically, and he was a heroic character who knew who he was finally, and I like that better in Infinity War. So I think he carried the second half of that movie, and it was good. So he's my number 5 spot after not liking him for the majority of his time in the MCU.
No, he's a great character. I agree.
Yeah. Corey, your number 5.
My number 5 is Winter Soldier.
I didn't know where he was going to rank for you. I knew he was going to be on the list.
Yeah, he single-handedly made Winter Soldier my favorite movie. Well, Captain America, him, and like that movie is still probably my favorite Marvel movie.
I can't not like.
He's a huge part of that.
I can't not envision him except for when he's sitting in the car with Falcon and they're nodding, like grinning at that's the only scene I always remember with him. But all right, so Bucky is your number 5.
Yep.
Okay. Tony.
I'm gonna go with Thanos, actually, just because, and the way I viewed it was overall up until now at this point. And in the beginning, Thanos is always like just the guy in the background or the guy in the chair or whatever. It's like, all right, what are they gonna do with him? But then finally, for Infinity War, we see his honest, heroic arc in what he's trying to accomplish, and from his side, from his point of view, he is the hero. Yeah, he did nothing wrong. He is doing what he believes is right. Exactly. He believes he's doing what's right, and just how dedicated he is to accomplishing those goals. He is mad. He's crazy. And in a way, I would say he's Tony Stark to like maybe a degree further, where like he's willing to do what it takes, no matter what. And Josh Brolin did a great job, like just voicing that character and then making that character come to life. And
motion performance too.
The motion performance, absolutely, just excellent. And then just those memorable quotes. I mean, you get that combination of like he's really calm and confident most of the time, but then he has these outbursts, like when he was fighting the Hulk in the beginning of Infinity War. There's like that, brief few seconds where like he was just enjoying the thrill of the fight, even when he was fighting them on Titan and going all out and stuff like that. And his words of Tony where he's like, I hope they remember you. It's like, he's like, I really mean it. And it's like, oh shit, like, okay,
he's not such a bad guy.
Not such a bad guy.
Just because he's a bad guy doesn't make him a bad guy. All right, let's get to number 4s. Number 4 for me is Black Panther.
All right, I'll go with you because that's my number 4 as well.
Really? EP. Wait, that's not Mike. That's you. All right. Yeah. So number 4 for me. Because he's a more recent hero. But I really like from Civil War on. Like, the character instantly attaches like to you. You kind of really like the character right off the bat. The coolness of his costume. The cool powers he has, and then just the persona of the character himself. Chad Boswick, does a great job as the character. I'm sorry, I butchered his name.
You knocked the right way to say it out of my head, so I'm not going to try.
I butchered the name. I have a cold. Well, moving on that. So, yeah. So, I can't even do it now. So yeah, he's just a great character. I think he'll be. I think he's the future going forward as one of the major players in Avengers in Phase 4. But we'll get to our Phase 4 prediction topic at some point later. But I think I just really like it. He's such a popular character, and this movie did so well. It's exciting to see new blood, and that's really what he brings to it. And I thought it was awesome. So, Tony, what was he number 4 for?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I loved his Civil War appearance just because, prior to the Spider-Man, he was going to be that one factor where it's like he was on from one side and then flipped to the other side to balance it out or something like that. But just seeing his appearance, because again, I didn't really know much about him. Just like, okay, he's a black Batman from a superficial level or whatever like that, where he uses a high-powered suit and tech and all that stuff. But his appearance was fantastic, and I loved how even in that first appearance, it wasn't even his movie, just at the end, how he took a step back and could realize that his bloodthirstiness for vengeance was setting him down a path that there was going to be no coming back from. And then it was just furthered in his own movie with just him trying to rule his empire and make sure everybody was living up to a standard that his father had set. But I loved how he was always open to new ideas and information, and that was coming from people around him, his mother, his sister, his girlfriend or fiance or whatever, his general and stuff like that, and even his cousin when what's his name, what's the villain's name, the
villain
Killmonger,
Killmonger,
showed up and stuff like that. It's like he constantly evaluated his point of view to the point to the degree where in that one dream sequence he even tells his father and his ancestors that they were wrong in how they ruled Wakanda from seclusion and a place of higher level and stuff like that. And to me, that just made it really interesting. So I'm excited to see where he goes in the future.
All right, Mike, number 4.
My number 4, I'm going to go with Star-Lord.
Nice.
Just because when I think about character, I just think about someone who you can sort of like get an idea like about who they are just by like seeing them a little bit. And like I had trouble with a lot of Marvel characters thinking about that, but him, like, I sort of know what he is, and he's a fun character, and he's just kind of funny and fun, like, and kind of like that. He's not too everyone loves to compare Chris Pratt to Harrison Ford. He's not quite like that. He's a little goofier, but there's still a little bit of that style to him. And as Star-Lord,
the scoundrel,
yeah. So I mean, I like that. So he's a fun character. So he made my number 4 list.
Cool. Corey,
I'm gonna go with Drax at number 4.
I thought about doing him instead.
Yeah, I mean, he's just hilarious. Like, he stands so still, you can't even see him at times. But at the same time, like, it's just like his deadpan like responses to people and how serious he is about everything, and not getting sarcasm. It's just like it really works well. And then the character, it fits that ensemble as far as the team goes, and how he comes into it and evolves as a character is interesting. And I just think he's a fun character to watch on screen. And he's great. Played wonderfully by Batista.
Yeah, I'm glad that he will be back for the 3rd one now that they got James Gunn back.
Yep.
So number 3 for me is Spider-Man.
I'll go with you. That was my number 3 too.
Wow. All right, we're lining up
duplicating.
All right. Again, another new character.
Well, what happened to Jim?
Jim?
Spider-Man got him.
Yeah, maybe. Jim? I hope he's still recording us.
Yeah, it says we're live at least, so I guess we are.
Well, what about you, Tony?
So for me, I mean, Spider-Man.
Sorry,
there you go.
Good thing about Google is it keeps going.
Yes.
So, anyways, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, anyone who's been listening to the podcast should be no stranger that I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man ever since his first appearance in Civil War, which, in retrospect, I could see other people's opinions that it was too early to make that statement. But since then,
that was the only point. Yes.
Yep. No, I know. I'm giving you your props. But since then, I think he has proven himself in not only the actor, but the role he plays, because, Spider-Man is a character that most people that are even know of superheroes or at least somewhat familiar with. Yeah, a kid or adult gets bit by a spider.
Relatable too. I mean,
yeah, relatable and stuff like that, and you know it. But there's been so many versions and instances over the years that this one to me feels fresh because it's a more innocent take on the character because yeah, he's a teenager, yeah, he's dweeby and dorky and lives with an aunt, but he's not like again, I don't want to shit talk the other ones or anything like that, but like it's a modern take on it. Like I don't think you could do the Tobey Maguire one in the MCU. I don't think that. I think that would have
Andrew Garfield was way too
Andrew
emo.
Garfield's like would
Emo.
not have fit. Yeah,
Way too emo
and stuff like that. Whereas like I think this one strikes that balance of like a heartfelt kid that was granted powers, and it's a form of wish fulfillment. I mean, let's be honest, like with him wanting to be a hero and stuff.
He
like
strives
that.
to be a hero. That's the thing.
It strives to be up to,
yeah.
and you could see how he looks up to like Iron Man and all the other Avengers and stuff like that. And I love that scene in Infinity War where Iron Man comes up to him and goes like, "All right, kid, you're an Avenger now," and like he just like takes a moment to like stand up a little straighter and stuff like that. It's just a little character moment that where it's like, that's my Spider-Man, and I just cannot wait to see how he handles this going forward into his next movie, but also moving forward with the Avengers and what happens after Endgame.
Yeah, me too. All right, Mike, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Iron Man.
Iron Man, okay.
Again, like he's like kind of the center of this universe, and Robert Downey Jr. just made him his own in the right way. It's just I like him less than I did at first, just because like they sort of made him a douchebag.
Yeah,
especially as the movies went on a little bit, but still, he's still like you can't have this universe pretty much without him, which worries me for what comes next. But we'll see.
Well, I mean, we don't know if he's going away.
Yeah.
I know there's one character we can definitely count bank on, but Corey,
dump truck worth of money is hard to like pass.
Yeah,
off, so.
You won't say no. Corey, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Loki.
Oh, Loki.
I feel like he's one of the strongest villains from the earlier films. Obviously, kind of tapered off there a little bit as the movies went on, but just the performance.
He's such a like entertaining villain /
he's charismatic
hero. Yeah, I mean Tom Hiddleston.
I think they did a great job, and like it was perfect casting, great performance. Tom
Hiddleston did great with him. So.
Yeah, no, it's just really
he's getting some series, so it's exciting. All right, my number 2 is Star-Lord. Again, like Mike had said, fun character. I think he's the most fun hero in the Marvel universe. Personally, I like just the fun, easygoing. Chris Pratt plays it great. Entertainment purpose. Like the movie could be a terrible. Like I don't think 2 was a great story, but 2 was a good movie because just how good the performances were. I don't think the story was that great in 2. It's a very forgettable story, but all of their performances, even Drax, including Batista, did a great job. But
I remember 2's story more than the first one.
No, I remember the first one a lot, and it's just because like I just this was a father-son thing in the second one that I was just like, but Chris Pratt does such a great job as Star-Lord, and I like his character so much, and just like the interaction between him and Tony Stark in Avengers, I thought was just great to see, and I can't wait to see. And I know he's going to be on for a while too, so I can't wait to see where they go with his character going forward, especially because I think he's snapped, isn't he? Mm-hmm. So we don't. Well, he might be dead. We don't know. Mm-hmm. But that's my number 2. Tony.
My number 2 was Thor, which again I'm doing the overall arc because I think kind of like what Mike is saying, I really don't like the character at first because I mean it's basically first 2 movies and even Avengers I would say he's just Marvel's Superman. It's like big and vulnerable, super strong, like alien god, whatever you want to call it. It's just like there's no depth, but slowly through the Avengers and then especially with Ragnarok and Infinity War, we start to see that transformation where, the weight of all the things that has happened to him in that relatively short amount of time, 10 years or whatever you want to call it, just like life handed him a shit platter. And it's just like, he just keeps getting up and, he doesn't really let it affect him. And I think that's kind of an admirable quality. And the one thing I really, remember is in Infinity War where he's talking with Rocket on their way to nowhere. And he's trying to talk to Rocket and just be like, yeah, I'm going to kill Thanos, this, that, and the other. He's like, yeah, but he kind of kicked your ass the first time. He's like, well, nobody's ever fought me twice, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, what if you're wrong? He's like, well, what else do I have to lose? And just like, shit, like that's a moment of him being really honest and earnest, because like his parents are dead, Loki's dead.
His society
are completely decimated. His best friend is dead. Like
Jane Carter's nowhere to be found.
Right,
no
exactly.
Foster.
Yep, exactly. And just
doesn't want to show up anymore.
No.
Exactly. And it's just like, he doesn't get super depressed. He doesn't, call it quits. He doesn't say, I've had enough. Thanos is one. He's just like, nope, I need to do this. Well, I think it's a really great arc.
Yeah. So, all right. We're on number ones, aren't we? Oh, no, we're on number twos. Mike, you're number 2.
My number 2 is Spider-Man.
Nice.
Whoa.
My number 2 is Spider-Man as well.
It's
Nice.
honestly largely just because of my preconceived ties to this character. This isn't exactly my favorite version of this character, but Spider Kid. But he's still good enough, and I'm excited to see what happens with him just because it's Spider-Man. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm echoing a lot of what you guys said before. Spider-Man, it's like this though is the Spider-Man I wanted to see on screen. I wanted to see the kid in high school. I wanted to see him.
I like the older Spider-Man
learning.
but
yeah, we had that. Now we get to see him learning to become that hero.
And we didn't
see the struggles of daily life,
high school,
and hero. You don't really have that with any of the other heroes. They can just full-time hero mode. Here he's like, nope, I'm a kid and I have to go to school and I gotta deal with shit that's going on in life. I like a girl and I don't know if she likes me, and now her dad's a supervillain. I'm like, what do I do?
That twist. Oh man, that twist.
I can't go to Germany.
I was so upset with myself for not seeing that.
That twist was just so awesome.
It was great. And so
the car. Now I'm thinking about the car scene with him, and oh god,
so intense. Yeah.
That was the other thing, Kevin Smith pointed this out too. It's funny. He's like, this is the first Spider-Man that actually has a New York accent, and he's British.
Yeah.
It's he does a good job. So he does a good job with that.
So yeah, he's number 2 for me.
All right, number 1 for me is Loki.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did not see that coming.
No, Tom Hiddleston. I'm so happy he's getting his own show for this character, and I think he does this character amazingly. He does a fantastic job, and he's been in how many movies now? He was the lead villain for Avengers, the first movie, and that is a big task considering it's the Avengers and you have to be big enough to take them all on. And I think they did a good job, and he did a good job representing Loki. And I just love that character. I always like the characters that are gray hero. They could be villains or heroes. Magneto is my
more
favorite.
interesting, right? It's interesting.
Yeah. I just love that. And so I think Loki right now is the representative of that. We could do this list again in 4 years, and I might have my own Magneto then to talk about. But Loki is for me right now number 1 for me. So Tony,
mine hopefully should not be a surprise, but is going to be Captain America, which
nice,
because if somebody had said at the beginning of all this, your favorite character of this whole Marvel cinematic stuff is going to be Captain America, I'd be like, okay, whatever, buddy. Because going into it again, and I'll say, it's a hokey character set in the origins of the World War II propaganda, punch a Nazi. Look, I get it, totally timepiece or whatever like that. But to take that character and invent that into a way and introduce it to be one of the building blocks of your new cinematic universe, where it's okay, the first one, it was fun. It was a campy film, little Indiana type Jones feel to it. Yeah, and it's okay, it was fine. And even in Avengers, he's okay, yeah, I get it. He's the Boy Scout and stuff like that. But in Winter Soldier, it's just damn, hey, the Russo brothers did a great job of actually making Captain America feel like a threat, physically on the battlefield and stuff like that, with his more combat abilities and the shield and stuff like that. But what I loved about Winter Soldier was how the whole story about Hydra, rising, really turned that character on its head, and he started to rethink things that even that plot device was the string was there with Avengers when he found out that Shield was still researching Hydra-based weaponry and stuff like that, and nobody had told him. And then with the helicarriers and all that crap, he's man, the government can't be trusted. He's Captain America, but he can't trust the government. And then coming to a head with Civil War, it's just he's like, our safest hands are still our own. Like, we can't save everybody, but that doesn't mean we give up and everything like that. And just the way that character still like plants himself there and believes in his ideals, even though, I'll say like he's not always right, or, he could approach things differently. But I believe, he's acting in good faith. And in addition to all that, I think Chris Evans does a perfect job playing that character.
Yeah.
I know we talk about Robert Downey Jr. with Tony Stark, but I think Chris Evans is right there because, like, that's who I see now in Captain America. And
you don't even think of him as like Johnny Storm anymore. Like,
no,
he played another character.
No, exactly, and it's just like it's just fantastic casting. So hopefully,
it's like the white male character. Like everybody,
he played the jock in Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah.
You remember that? I mean, just how far he's come. Yeah, it's just,
So, I hope Endgame really gives him that good moment to shine because Infinity War is kind of there.
I mean, I always thought of Chris Evans as kind of a comedic, almost funny man. Actor. But no, I'm right there with you. I'll just continue this because he was my number one as well, and for a lot of the same reasons. Like with Captain America, especially with Winter Soldier, like we got to see another side of the character, and some more. Again, like you talked about with Thor, so it's like more depth to him, and more. You got to see more like raw like emotion for this character. Like how do you deal with learning everything you know is gone, and then also like everything you believed in is turned on its head. So just to see that and the performance of that in that movie in particular is fantastic. And then him going through the series, clashing with Tony Stark, obviously, but like throughout all of it, he is always doing what he believes is best for like people in general. Like, he's always that, that hero. I think he's like the heroist of the heroes of all the heroes. Like, so he is that character, and they really made him that for this this universe, because like everyone's got their flaws, obviously, and even though he has had to deal with a whole bunch of shit that's been thrown at him, he's still like what you said with Thor, even like he's still going out and doing the hero thing because it's what's right. It's what's he's that guy that's jumping on that grenade when everybody tries to run away from it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
he's my number one too.
Oh, wow. I did not see that coming.
Oh no. Well, the thing is, like, we talked about it way earlier in this podcast about what I liked about DC heroes, and that's what I see in Captain America. He's a hero that is better than us based on his like moral compass, and like he's someone you would like aspire to be like that way, not just the powers. And
because before the powers, that's what he was. I mean, he was that
he was soldier, and I mean, like
others before himself.
And he is certainly like a product of the 40s in that way too, that he's idealized. But like his character is just like one person can maybe actually be that, and that's fine. And it's just like inspiring. And I first interactions with the character are really sort of like reflections from other characters I was more familiar with growing up, like Spider-Man or Wolverine might talk about him in like, a video game or a comic book, and it's just like they all revered this guy and he had that like level of respect. And then when they brought him to this big screen, like it just worked. It like they caught that sort of like respect, that like tactician, the just how everyone like sort of could get behind him and how he was an instant leader. And it's just to me, I think he may be the most comic accurate like portrayal of all of them. Not that that matters that much, but to me, like he's the one who is what you expect from Captain America. And I don't know. I just think like again, like I like the character that's like an idealized like.
And that elevator scene in Winter Soldier. I mean,
oh yeah, that's the other thing. I kind of like his action scenes a little more because they're less CGI heavy because of the nature of his powers. So I prefer his action scenes too.
All right. So to do this list, I think that helps out big time. So Captain America will be, because right when I did like the point totals by the way we voted, like Spider-Man had like 14 points. Just because of like you compile where it fell on the lists. But Captain America clearly number one for us. But we'll go backwards. So my next thing is I'm completely fine with Spider-Man being at 2. If you guys think that, because we all put him on he made all of our lists just all over the place.
Well, this is like we have our own individual list now. This is the AYCG list.
Yeah, this is the combined list. So I'm completely fine putting a combined list, moving Spider-Man up to 2 because of just by points. If you do give like a point value, 1 point for 5 and 5 points for 1, he falls into 14 points because he was on all of our lists.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were going backwards though.
I am. I'm just telling you where I'm at with these two. So the next point, actually, if we go, okay, we start in the back. I mean, Black Panther had 4, but Thor had 5, so Thor gets the number 5 spot.
Nice. I'm glad he's on the list. I like
Star-Lord is tied with Loki with 6 points. So I put Star-Lord at 4 and Loki at 3, just from a normal rule if that was my 1. So Loki moves to 3 by tiebreaker.
Sure.
Spider-Man was at 14 points and Cap was at 15 points.
Nice.
Does that sound like a list?
It sounds pretty good.
That's a list.
Yeah,
I just want to throw out like my favorite comic book character is Hulk, and I just don't like his movie.
No, I don't like him either. I agree. I just don't like him. So here's our list then. Number 5, Thor. Number 4, Star-Lord. Number 3, Loki. Number 2 is Spider-Man. And number 1 is Captain America for our top 5 Marvel MCU movie characters. We have all of our individual lists. I think that's going to wrap up this episode, right?
Yeah,
good.
I think so.
We'll wrap up 439 of the Moviecast. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Let us know what you think. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channels.
Tell us who your favorite character is.
And tell us who your favorite character is.
Tell us who of our list is going to actually be there going forward.
We'll be doing predictions for Phase 4. We have another top 5 list coming up. We've got a bunch of topics coming up for Endgame. Check them every week. Check out every week for Moviecast. Thanks again. See you soon.